I make bread. I'm a bread maker. I make bread in Birmingham. I like making bread in Birmingham because it's relatively cheap to do so, and there are hundreds of interesting and varied locations to make bread in that are easy to get hold of. However, it's increasingly apparent that the only place to make bread these days is London. This makes life difficult for bread makers outside of London, as we often find our work overlooked and underfunded. I have many bread making friends that feel that they have to move to London in order to turn their bread making into a viable income. It is a shame that these people, who could be spending their money on new bread making endeavours, instead have to spend it on London's high living costs. It is much cheaper living and working as a bread maker outside of London, but our bread projects still need funding. There is funding available for bread makers from institutions such as the Bread Funding Initiative, but this has always been heavily weighted towards London. In fact, it has recently been revealed that central government spending on bread and bread-related sectors in London amounted to £69 per resident in the last year, compared with £4.60 per person elsewhere in England. There are a huge amount of talented bread makers in Birmingham. In fact, the British Bread Company actually has offices in the centre. But even they, when wanting to make a large-scale bread production about Birmingham's bread, chose to ship a crew of bread makers from London and make the bread in Leeds and Liverpool. Therefore, it's important to forge a strong and united bread-making community outside of London, for our own sake. As bread makers, we need to support each other's bread projects however we can. It's only by creating a supportive community that we will ever manage to start getting fairly paid for making bread outside of London. Find your local bread makers. Offer your help to them. Build the community. Make bread.